And for the final presentation today, I now request Mr. Sachin Nigam, Director Global Trade, Kredx, to share his insights on the topic, supply chain financing. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. Can I just have the presentation if you don't mind? Well, it's kind of difficult to talk about what you do for a living, every day, 10, 12 hours in a few minutes, but I'll try my best. And I know I am standing between you and the networking break, so that makes it even more difficult, but hopefully we should be able to give you some good snippets. So essentially, I've kind of structured this session into, a couple of parts. One is wherein I'll just give you a very brief, overview of Kredx and our unique business model, which kind of separates us from the normal other players of the ecosystem, and then also give you a sense of what are the various products, so to speak, and then happy to take any questions or discuss later on as well. So I guess I'm not going to really talk about all this because it's obviously you undergo these on a day-to-day basis and it's been spoken about quite a lot. So let me just take you about Kredx. We were formed in 2015, and today we are India's largest supply chain financing platform. What we started off with the intention was to democratize the invoice discounting space, because what we'd seen was that typically an invoice discounting was a space which was dominated by banks and NBFCs from the lender's perspective. We wanted to actually bring corporate debt to a larger set of investors, not just to banks and financial institutions, and that is what we really were focusing on. Over the course of our journey, we've actually kind of kept adding products which are specifically tailored for SMEs and on cash flow solutions. And today, like I'd mentioned, we've had a lot of success in our journey. We've done close to about 20 billion worth of flows across our platform since inception, dollars. We've helped about 45,000 SMEs get instant credit for their receivables. We've got more than 70,000 investors on our platform, and we've done more than 15 lakh invoices, that we do. So the operative word for us actually is platform, right? So what we do is we've created a completely digital interface of a platform wherein we've created a marketplace on which on one side you have institutions and enterprises and vendors who need credit, and on the other side we have investors who have excess money which they want to deploy. Now what makes us different is that instead of just banks and NBFCs, who are also there on our platform by the way, our platform gives opportunities to high net worth individuals, family offices, and even retail investors to subscribe to invoice. So for example, how it works is that if you have a receivable you've supplied a good to a larger corporate, and you have a receivable wherein you're getting paid after 60, 90 days, you bring it to us, we put it up as a deal sheet, we do all the evaluation, we put it up as a deal sheet, and then our investors, subscribe to this. And it could be a fragmented subscription, but you will get the entire money, and on the due date, the corporate will make a payment to us. We deduct our charges and pass on the balance back to you. Now the way actually this whole thing, why is it unique, is because everybody has a different risk profile, right? So here we are not restricted to only SMEs supplying to larger corporates and things like that, or certain sectors or whatever, or only manufacturing sectors. We are pretty much agnostic. Services is included, any type of SMEs are included, and we are able to get, because of the largest retail investors and family offices, and depending upon the credit profile, right from banks onwards, we have different kind of investors on our platform, and they are able to price it accordingly and get the money. And the other thing is that it is unsecured, so there is no collateral requirement. Okay. The third thing is the turnaround time. So typically we tend to be conservative guys, so we say 36 to 72 hours, but on an average we've seen that we are able to fund transactions within 24 hours. The fastest that we've done on our platform is 12 seconds. Yeah, so the guy uploaded the O and then it went off, because it was an awesome deal. I wanted to invest it, I couldn't because I got a call. So that's how it is. So essentially, we are, a platform which gives you much wider audience for you to go and avail funding from at the pricing that you'd want. So that's essentially what it is. What are our products? Maybe we can just quickly go on to the next slide. This I've covered. Okay. So essentially, couple of other things. One is, of course, invoice discounting, which I have shared with you. We have global trade. So we are not just, domestic driven. We got a license from IFSCA, which is the regulator, unified regulator in GIFT City in Gandhinagar, which is India's offshore business center, to operate an international trade financing platform. What we do over there is we are helping exporters get easier credit. So the advantages of ITFS platform is that you as an exporter can come onto the ITFS platform and we will show your deal to multiple financiers. And this time the financiers are not just financiers based in India, but financiers based across the world as well. So what happens is that you don't need to have a financial consultant who will then go across and populate your file with 10 people and then you'll get quotes. All of that is in a digital form. You will get the quotes immediately and you will be able to see and compare notes and get the deal. So the intermediation part is out of the picture and you get the best deal. Second, you get access to international capital. So it's not just the domestic capital. We've got domestic banks. We've got banks who are based out of GIFT City. We've got trade funds, alternate investment funds, foreign banks, banks who are based outside of India but not present in India, all of those. So what you get better access to capital at a cheaper cost at a much more simplified, digitized version. What we have also is, pay later kind of structure, which is basically from the corporate to your, to the SMEs. We also, have a solution wherein we help SMEs and mid-market corporates to run their entire ERP program. So we design an ERP program specifically for you guys, wherein we are able to then have various modules in terms of payable module, receivable modules, and various other things. So it's like a SaaS product for us as well. So because at the end of it, we don't really call ourselves as fintech, we call ourselves as TechFin. Tech is the basis of our background and our backbone. So next please. Essentially, I covered this, discounting receivables. So essentially what is stuck on your balance sheet as a receivable, you can convert it into instant cash by accessing the WO. It is collateral free, it is quick dispersal, it is transparent. We've kind of booked or helped SMEs across 125 cities now in India, wherein they have used our services to get it. And so it's, and their feedback to us has been that it is an extremely good solution because it just helps them to access cash and it's far more flexible. We have a payable programs as well for larger corporates who can, it is a kind of a top-down approach wherein we allow larger corporates to have extended credit terms, but which allows them to pay to their vendors on an immediate basis so that the vendors get funds, on an, and today we have close to about 300 odd larger corporates who are on our platform using these payable solutions. So we are helping the SMEs from a top-down approach as well. And so is the case with BNPL, which is buy now, pay later structures as well. Uh, yeah, I mean, these are, I really don't want to take you away from your networking break, so to speak. So essentially, that's what our whole model is. It is seamless, transparent, all digital, very, very quick onboarding. Everything gets done in a very simplistic manner without the onerous, process that one has to traditionally go through to get financing. Happy to take any questions if you have, and otherwise, maybe we can talk at the networking break as well. But thank you so much. Sorry? Agri-commodities depends as to who are you kind of, selling those structure to, but if it is agrochemicals and things like that, surely.
But the problem there is normally unlimited credit, right? 9 months to 1 year credit cycle.
Yeah.
With the customer. So how do you cater to that still?
See, typically what we've seen is what our investors prefer is short-term credit. So going all the way up to say 180 days. But for example, if you have your larger, whoever is your, vendor on the other side, and the name is good and you've got some track record, there is always flexibility on the platform because it depends on the, risk appetite of our investors. So we are not really constrained by the credit policies of traditional lenders, right? So they who are there on our platform, the traditional lenders, banks, and BFCs, they will have their credit policy. We work within those framework. But because we have a largish investor base on our platform, there are people who are willing to take that risk.
So it's a negotiable thing. Basically.
Exactly. Now, he may say that I'm willing to take that 10-month risk. My pricing needs to be 2% more, But you are still having a solution. Yeah.
Works. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much. Please do log on to Kredx.com to see how it goes for you, and also our ITFS platform as well. Hopefully, we'll be able to find some solutions for our exports as well of the country. Thank you very much, and have a good evening.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nigam. I request Mr. Rajan Raje to kindly deliver the memento.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So we've reached the end of our session. I now invite Mr. Rajan Raje, CEO and founder, Nichem Solutions, and Chairman, MSME Forum, Bombay Chamber of Commerce and Industry, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Gayatri. So it is indeed a pleasure for me to perform the vote of thanks for today's conclave. And honestly speaking, I think it was a very enriching session, enriching conclave, even for all of us as a committee members. So for the inaugural session, on behalf of the Bombay Chamber of Commerce and my own behalf, I extend sincere thanks to Srimati Harsha Bangari, Managing Director, Exim Bank, for having made it convenient to grace the occasion today. I would also like to thank our President, Mr. Nilesh Shah, for taking time from his busy schedule. You know that he was in Delhi and still he made himself available to address the audience and the conclave. I would also extend sincere thanks to Dr. Sachinananda Shukla. Again, he was busy in Delhi attending a session with the Government of India. Still, he made himself available. He is Chief Economist, Mahindra & Mahindra, for setting up the theme of conclave and to present on the outcome of the Bombay Chamber's 5th Annual Economic Outlook Survey. We conducted 4 panel discussions and 5 presentations today. The presentations were by Mr. Jamal Maklai, CEO, Maklai Financial Services. I thank him for his presentation. Then Mr. Samir Sathe, Executive Vice President of Vadhwani Foundation or Vadhwani Advantage. He gave an outline on what Vadhwani Foundation and Bombay Chamber is trying to do for the MSME. So thank you, Samir, for giving that outline. Then Devang Mankhodi, Vice President, Transformation, DP World, Subcontinent. His presentation again was very interesting and eye-opening for most of the MSME stakeholders like me. And then Mr. Sachin Nigam for giving us an exposure to Kredx platform on supply chain financing. I also thank Mr. Samir Kanavar, Partner Direct Tax, Ernst & Young, on takeaways on the current budget, new policies for MSME segment, and the budget has given a good support to MSME on various aspects. The key takeaways from the panel discussions were we had representatives from different consulates like Denmark, Switzerland, Japan and Turkey, and they gave us they presented us the opportunities to MSMEs, what the MSMEs can do. They also told us how they support their MSMEs by different schemes. The MSMEs must take the benefit of schemes like cash flow based financing, TRADS platforms for digitally managing receivables. There is also a need on collaborating efforts by both logistic partners as well as MSMEs to support each other and to make the logistics effective for MSMEs. In spite of the hits and misses of recent budget, MSMEs can avail benefits of increased tax audit limits, extension of credit line, increase in startup policy limits. So that was another takeaway from our last session. I extend my sincere thanks to our panel members, Mr. Isk Kunsen Rosenberg, Consul General and Head Innovation Center of Denmark, Consulate General of Denmark, Mr. Hussein Aydin, Commercial Attaché, Consulate General of Turkey, Mr. Yashakuta Fukahori, Consul General, Consulate General of Japan, Mr. Martin Meyer, Consul General, Consulate General of Switzerland, Shri Sampath Kumar, CGM, MSME, State Bank of India, Mr. Ketan Gaikwad, MD and CEO, RxIL, Mr. Ravi Tyagi, Chief General Manager, SIDBI, Ms. Meghna Jogalekar, General Manager, Exim Bank, Mr. Pavitran Kolada, Managing Director, BDP UGL, Global Logistics India Private Limited, India Region, Anil Radhakrishnan, Director, Essex Supply Chain, Aniket Malshe, Director, Nichem Solutions Private Limited, Dr. Vinod Chopra, Managing Director, Sai Industries Alliances Private Limited, Mr. Samir Kanavar, Partner, Direct Tax, Ernst & Young Limited. I would also like to thank our session moderators who have driven the sessions flawlessly. Panel 1 was driven by Viraj Kulkarni, CEO and founder, Pivot Management Consulting. Panel 2, Dr. Rajendra Sinha, founder, MSMEadvisor.com, Chairperson, Center of Excellence in Banking, JAGSOM. Panel 3, Mr. R. Srinivasan, Director, IRA Consulting Private Limited. Panel 4, Pranabhihanga Borpuzhari, Associate Director, ETA.com, Economic Times. And finally, the conclave wouldn't have been accomplished without the strong support of our sponsors, Union Bank of India, State Bank of India, HSBC, SBI Mutual Fund, and SIDBI. I would like to thank, obviously, the august audience without whom the conclave wouldn't have been possible. As a chamber, we have been able to achieve a lot and have organized multiple impactful events and activities over the past many months. All this could not have been accomplished without the strong and consistent support of the Chamber Secretariat. They have been always very, very serious, sincere, and hardworking for any conclave. Hence, I express my sincere thanks to Mr. Sandeep Khosla, Director General, for his support and guidance for this event. A big thanks to Sunil Nair. I know how hard he has worked to make this possible. Kal Mistry, Tarini, Meenal, Farida, Jayashri, Priya, Utkarsh, Prashant, Digambar, Sanchita, Aniha, and the IT team, Sakshi, Dilip, Vivek, and sub-staff over their commitment and efforts. And how is Gayatri's name missing? Because the way she conducted the entire program, a big thanks to her. So look forward to more engaging sessions like this, and thank you to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Raje, and thank you for your special mention. So that brings us to the end of this conclave. On behalf of the Bombay Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I would like to thank you all for taking the time out of your busy schedules to attend this event. And once again, we'd like to thank our co-sponsor, Union Bank of India, and associate bank sponsors, State Bank of India, HSBC, SBI Mutual Fund, and SIDBI for supporting us in this event. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.